Early dawn at Elaafia's riverbank. Baba Kola, a tall, lean 55-year-old fisherman with weathered dark skin, short greying hair, and a strong jawline, kneels on a wooden canoe, mending his fishing net. His deep-set eyes look toward the misty river with reverence. The river glows faintly in the morning haze, palm trees swaying in the background. The air is filled with warm, golden light breaking over the horizon. Close up under a mango tree, Yemi, a 17-year-old slim girl with warm brown skin, oval face, high cheekbones, and almond-shaped eyes, sits cross-legged on a reed mat. She wears a faded, patterned wrapper and a short-sleeved blouse. Her long black hair is braided neatly. She gazes toward the river thoughtfully as the wind stirs loose strands of hair, sunlight dappling her face through the leaves. Night of the full moon, Yemi slips out of her mud brick home, lit only by a clay oil lamp inside. She moves barefoot, holding a wooden paddle, her wrapper and blouse fluttering in the warm night breeze. Behind her, Baba Kola sleeps on a mat. The moonlight paints the sandy path silver, leading to the glistening river at Widow's Bend. The river is wide and glassy under moonlight. Yemi's canoe floats quietly, her hands gripping the fishing line. Fireflies swirl in the humid air, and plantain trees lean toward the water. Her almond eyes widen as she hears the first mysterious voice, the ripples in the water forming faint, glowing patterns. Spirit of Mama Said appears. The shimmering, ethereal form of Mama Said, a round-faced elderly woman with silver hair wrapped in a white headscarf, rises from the water. Her white flowing wrapper and coral beads glow faintly. She smiles warmly, the moonlight illuminating her soft features, while Yemi stares in awe from the canoe. Vision of the royal past. Yemi, still seated in her canoe, is surrounded by flashes of ghostly scenes. A queen in coral crown pouring libation, warriors lowering a blade into the river, a fig tree wrapped in red cloth. These images are semi-transparent, swirling like water reflections around her. Her hand is in the water, feeling its thrum. The prophecy revealed. Close-up of Yemi in her canoe, face lit by moonlight, jaw set with determination. Her red thread loop bracelet glows faintly on her wrist as the voice in the water speaks. Behind her, the plantains and river are shrouded in drifting mist. The river's gift. Yemi lifts the small loop of red thread, knotted 3 times from her fishing hook. Her hand is wet, the thread glowing faintly as if warm from fire. The water behind her swirls with faint shapes of women's faces, watching. Return to the shore. Yemi paddles back in moonlight, her canoe gliding through water that reflects silver light. An owl flies overhead. The shore is faint in the distance, lit by a single lantern. Her face is calm, but her eyes burn with new knowledge. Confrontation at home. Baba Kola sits on a low wooden stool in the dim lantern light, his lined face serious. Yemi stands before him holding the glowing red thread loop. The mud brick walls and fishing nets form the backdrop. His expression is not anger, but the solemn look of a man who knew this day would come. Dawn in Baba Kola's home. Baba Kola sits cross-legged on a woven mat, the carved wooden box with wave and crown designs in front of him. Yemi kneels across from him, her wrapper neatly tied, hair in a low bun, face lit by golden morning sunlight streaming through the doorway. Inside the box, a cowrie bracelet, blue aso oke cloth, and a folded goatskin letter, revealing the enemy. Baba Kola, eyes shadowed and serious, leans toward Yemi as they speak. In the background, fishing nets hang against the mud wall. His voice is tense, hands resting on the goatskin letter. Yemi listens intently, her almond-shaped eyes wide, absorbing the truth about Prince Adigun. Approaching the palace, Yemi and Baba walk through Elaafia's bustling market, blending with the crowd. She balances a basket on her head, dressed simply, her wrapper patterned in faded blues. Baba carries fishing nets. Behind them, the palace rises with painted walls, depicting crocodile spirits, yam festivals, and coral-crowned queens. At the king's stone stool. In the sunlit palace courtyard, the ancient stone stool sits squat and weathered. Yemi kneels near its base, pretending to fix her wrapper, the fishbone awl hidden in her hand. Her red thread loop glows faintly. In the background, a palace guard yawns lazily, spear resting on his shoulder. The hidden oath. Inside a shadowy storeroom smelling of chalk and camwood, Yemi unrolls the goatskin oath. The parchment glows faintly in the dim light. The signatures of the late king, Adigun, and Oke stark against it. Babakola stands beside her, jaw tight, the carved wooden lid of his box leaning against the wall. Meeting chief drummer, Aina. In a palace-side corridor, Aina steps into their path. She stands tall, her deep ebony skin catching the sunlight, headscarf tied like a crown, bold patterned wrapper swirling in the breeze. Her carved talking drum hangs from her shoulder, and her piercing gaze studies Yemi's face, preparing for the night. Back in their home, Baba rolls the goatskin oath and tucks it into the carved box. Yemi sits nearby, rinsing her face in a calabash of river water, droplets running down her cheeks. The doormat lifts gently from a soft evening breeze, the red thread loop tapping her wrist. Inside the drum house, carvings of moons, trees, and coral-crowned women line the wooden walls. Aina sits cross-legged, palms resting on her hourglass-shaped drum. Two apprentices sit behind her. Yemi, kneeling in front, holds a thin drumstick, her eyes fixed on Aina as she receives instruction. Awakening the name. Yemi and Aina drum together in the dim light, sweat beading on Yemi's forehead. The apprentices' hands blur as they weave counterbeats. Outside, the almond tree's branches sway in a sudden wind. The faint, ghostly sound of Adaronki seems to drift in the air. Meeting Tayo. Outside in the moonlit courtyard, Tayo emerges from the shadows. Slim and wiry, with light brown skin and a faint scar above his brow. He holds up empty hands in peace. His plain shirt and trousers contrast with the palace walls behind him. Yemi stands alert, the red thread loop glowing faintly at her wrist.
If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe for more.